guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am gonna go ahead and close out July. As you guys know, we are already in the month of August, and I had set what my August budget was and the rollover that I had left over. However, I had not closed out my July budget, so today I'm gonna figure out exactly how my month of July went and to see if the numbers that I put into August match what I was supposed to close with July. So let's talk about my income. My income consists of having 2 workers' comps paychecks, having rolled over from June's income, and then miscellaneous. I did actually have miscellaneous because I wanted to hit a certain goal for my emergency fund. So I needed that extra push or that extra leeway from a different source of income. So I will have that here. But let's talk about paychecks 1 and 2. They went as they're supposed to go. Like I said, I'm on a fixed income because I'm on workers' comp. So for this, what I did expect, it was what I got. The only hiccup that I had was that I had an issue with the pay distributions of it. I think on I was supposed to get paid on the 10th or something, and I got delayed by like a day or two, which then affected my paycheck too. So yeah, but these both were $1248.32. My rollover was exactly what it was supposed to be. It was $1,133.49, and that was after I pulled out my emergency fund from June's previous transfer, since it didn't kick in until like the first 2 days of July. But in total, that was what I had in my bank account when the month started. And then the only thing that I gave myself for miscellaneous, I wasn't expecting to give myself anything, but since I did want to hit a goal, I ended up transferring from my shop a total amount of $359.10 just so I could hit an emergency fund goal. So this didn't go to any of the bills. That actually just went straight into savings. I know a lot of people ask me, what is it that I do with like my affiliate income, my YouTube income, and my shop income? And if you guys are interested, I actually have a whole video of what I dedicate that income to, and I'll leave it linked above in a card. But basically, it goes towards savings, it goes towards fun, food, family, and just, you know, normal stuff that contributes to the channel, being able to like have fun after, you know, concentrating so much on debt payoff. So that is what my income was for the month of July. The only thing that I actually made was paycheck 2 and paycheck 1. Rollover was just what came in from June that I just had extra, and then of course miscellaneous was just something I transferred into my bank account so I could reach goals. So for the month of July, if I do $1248.32 shop transfer, for the month of July, at one certain point the total amount that I was dealing with was $39.89.23. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that here. Cool. So now that we had our income done, we are now going to go ahead and set the real amounts that happen for the bills. So for August, I did go ahead and save the $925. This is a non-negotiable. That is something that is forever going to be what it's supposed to be. My health benefits were $134.37. These are set because that's just how my health insurance is going to be for another year. I think starting in January of 2022, that's when like prices change, since open enrollment starts around October, which should be coming up pretty soon. So yeah, $134.37 as usual. Natural gas was 75 cents. However, since they wouldn't allow me to pay 75 cents, I went ahead and just paid $1. So that was for my natural gas, and the reason why is because I had a California climate change credit. I think I've had that twice already, or 3 times. Not sure why we get it, but it's just something that happens when I have my natural gas set up with SoCalGas. My phone bill has always been a solid $57. That never changes, and I do have unlimited with Spectrum and insurance included. Renter's insurance and car insurance happen on the same day. They always land on the 22nd, and that is an automatic pull. And for renter's insurance, I always do $25, but it's $22.56. And then for my car insurance, they did say it was going to be lower this month, and they did not lie. I was estimating 133. It came out to be slightly above that, not exaggerating, just like by a couple of cents. So 133.90 was the total that my car insurance was. I have officially moved from MetLife. They got bought out, so now I have Farmers, and they just sent me a letter saying that they're gonna go ahead and reevaluate my policy again. And I'm just like, dude, I just called to get it lowered, and I'm getting another letter saying that they're going to reevaluate my area, my car, and everything, so they can give me better pricing, which I think is complete bull. I'm thinking they're just trying to find ways to increase it, and it's kind of annoying because this is from employer-employee benefits package that my job has that gets deducted from my account so they can pay this. So yeah, whatever. So in total for bills this month, everything came out to be a total of $1,273.83, which is kind of great because it's kind of over budgeted by $2. So that is great. So, you know, it's good to always like be spot on with my bills, which I'm really actually happy about. So this is really nice that not such a big difference is happening. Like I'm almost hitting it on the nail, so that's great. Groceries, gasoline spending, I pulled everything out. However, I did not track it. And what I mean by that is that I took out the cash and I put it in my purse, and then I just used it blankly. This was my first month being debt free, so I kind of went a lot lenient on myself, you guys. I kid you not, I went really lenient on myself. But I will say this, once I pulled out the cash, I depleted all of these. I think I had like $5 left, but then I think my sister asked for like tip money, and I gave her like the remaining $5 that I had, so I depleted everything. So what I'm going to go ahead and write here is that I did actually use the $380, the $100 for gas, the $250 for spending. So I am going to leave those as those amounts. The only two that I'm really kicking myself is for these two categories, which is Bean, which is my cat, and unbudgeted. Unbudgeted happened at the beginning of the month, but I don't regret any of it. And like I said, I sent money, I had some fees, and I donated money as well. So in total, if I look over here, after like I literally stopped just tracking because I was like, you know what, I'm having too much of a fun time with like being debt free, and I'm enjoying life. So but for reals, the one thing that I did track was my unbudgeted, and that ended up being $447.95. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that here, $447.95 for unbudgeted. And I'm not sure if I pulled that from my personal savings, so miscellaneous might be a little tricky, but it's fine. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. And then Bean, my cat, was so expensive. I'm thinking she needed like rabies shots and food. I wasn't expecting to just really go ham on her and buy stuff in bulk and whatnot. So in total, I know she cost me about $300. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my calculations right now. So after checking my receipts for her vet appointments, for her grooming session, and her food, she ended up costing me a total of $296.99, almost $267, let's say it. I'm amazed at those 99 cents. So yeah, that is exactly what it is. And I'm still not done. I think for the month of October, she still needs her booster shots, another set of something, and I'm gonna take her to the groomers. It's just cats are expensive, pets are expensive. I can't even imagine a child, you guys. I cannot imagine it. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this up and put my totals for my actuals, which is definitely gonna be way over $890. That what I was anticipating for July. So in total, I ended up spending $1,474.94, which is whoa. That is a big difference right there, big difference. And yeah, unbudgeted and my cat really put me over. For miscellaneous category, the 4th of July and birthday were both set as one thing, and I ended up spending, let me see, it was $200. Yeah, it was an exact $200. Yep, I'm gonna say it was an exact $200. So I ended up inviting I told my dad I wanted some seafood and I was going to pay for it, and I told my sister, don't worry about it, I will include, you know, food funds for your husband's birthday so we can just all celebrate it together instead of having it at two different houses. We just did it at my parents' house, and I bought enough food for like our entire family. So that ended up being $200. For my emergency fund, I did go ahead and do two contributions, one of $300 and one of $160. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that up. So that is what, $460. So for the month of July, I did go ahead and throw $460 at my emergency fund, and that did not include the $359. So I should probably add that on here too. So $359.10. So that is what that happened. So in total, if I add that up, miscellaneous ended up costing about $1,019.10, which is just below the $1,100 that I was anticipating for this category. So yeah, that is good. I really overshot my emergency fund, but I'm still happy with what I came out with, because that looks like about $700 to $800 goal that I reached for this month, which is not that far off from 1,000. So I'm really happy about that. So now that we have all our real numbers set up, I'm gonna go ahead and close this and see how my numbers look. I'm always kind of like hesitant on how this part kind of turns out, because sometimes the numbers don't make sense, and that's just a struggle budgeting. However, whenever I have my exact amounts on the first day of the month, I mark that on the following month as my exact rollover, so at least I know how I'm starting my month regardless of how this ends up looking, because discretions always happen and there's nothing I can do. So let's see how close I was to hitting a zero-based budget. So $3,989.23 is what I was working with. Out of that, I used $1,273 for bills. For my cash envelopes, I ended up inhaling a total amount of $1,474.94. And then for miscellaneous, I needed a total of $1,019.10. So let's see if this math makes any sense. And if it doesn't, I will say is because I might have pulled savings, my personal savings, to fund, I don't know if it was 4th of July or my cat. But we're going to figure this math out together. So $339.89.23 minus bills minus cash envelopes minus miscellaneous. I was supposed to have a leftover of $221.36. $221.36. So every other income that I had available was more than enough for everything that I did for the month. I was supposed to have a spare of $225. However, there is a large discretion or discrepancy, how people say, and that is my actual rollover for August was $562. So $562.36 was my actual rollover. So about $341 came from somewhere, and I have no clue from where. I don't know if it came from my personal savings because I was funding it so I wouldn't have like unbudgeted stuff, but yeah, about $341. There is a discrepancy there. However, I'm okay with it. That is how July went, because even if I did have a discrepancy, my income that I wrote down that I actually received for this month took care of everything, including these massive amounts of unbudgeted expenses. So I'm pretty happy about that. Other than that, sinking funds, I did use sinking funds. I went ahead, I went ahead and funded my Christmas fund. So I currently have $200 in my Christmas fund. And then I ended up getting a flat tire the end week of July in the freeway rush hour truck season scenario. And I went and I got my flat fixed, and it ended up costing me $40. So I had an original of $405 in my cart maintenance, and I took out $40 for that. So my end balance for my cart maintenance is $365. And then medical, I have not funded anything for it. Registration, AAA membership, these are fully funded as well. And then I only added Christmas money to it, so in total I have a balance of $200 on here. So these are going to stay the same. Let's do $260 for car registration, $84 for AAA, and $739 for medical, which I really need to start bumping that up. So that is how my sinking funds went, in case you are interested. And then all I have to do here is just add that additional amount that I had for my emergency fund savings. So now if I just add all of those numbers, we can just see how much savings and sinking funds hit. So 300 plus 160 plus 359.10. For the month of July, $819.10 went to my emergency fund. And if I add $72.57 with 90 cents to 359.10, I ended up hitting my 3-month emergency fund goal of $7,617. If you're interested in where I got that number from, I'll have the video linked up above, but it is from emergency savings setup, and as you guys can see, 3 months is $76.17. My next goal is to hit 15,000, so let's see how well I do for the remaining of the year. And for my end balances for my sinking funds, let's do 365 plus 739 plus 260 plus 84 plus 200. In total in sinking funds, I have $916.39. So yeah, that is how this page looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and open my planner, because I do get questions a lot of how I set up my monthly. So I'm going to just show you a quick glance now that my entire budget is closed for July. So when we go into July, you guys are going to see my monthly spread. This is usually where I track my expenses. It usually looks like this. This was my first debt-free month, so I took a backseat, you guys. Don't blame me. I've had a lot of fun. After my monthly calendar, I go ahead and I rip off the dashboard page. And if you're wondering how that looks, so if you have an Erin Condren, it looks like this, and then you get this dashboard page. I rip that off. So in case you're trying to figure out like why does my setup look different, it's because I rip pages off, because I don't deal with dashboards. So once I rip off that dashboard, I get pure line paper, and on here I used to have my debt tracker and my transaction log, but now since I am debt free, I have my savings tracker, my sinking fund tracker, and my transaction log. Since my transaction log, I don't rarely use it because I don't touch my sinking funds until they need to be touched, and that's very rare. So yeah. And then my savings tracker doesn't have a ton of spaces either, because I get paid twice a month, and if I want to get income from my other affiliates, I only need 1 or 2 more spaces. So I really don't need a whole lot of space, because I don't do that many transactions for it either. But this is how I do my spreads for my savings and my sinking funds. Then over here, I like to have my weekly check-in, because I can just go ahead and flip back and forth, and I can tell the numbers. So that is where my weekly check-in is. And after that, I just start my budgeting. So you guys will always see my monthly budget, and then you guys will see a rollover budget or a paycheck one budget. This month I did have a rollover budget. And then you guys see every time I get paid. So that is exactly how I set up my planner. And once I start flipping it, I have a ton, like a couple of pages still available to use. Before, I almost had 0 pages available, just because of how deep in debt I was, but now that I'm debt free, not all the pages get used up, and then I just go ahead and restart my calendars over and over again. And that's how usually all my setups are. So I hope you guys enjoyed my closeout. Let me know how July went. I had a blast. I had unbudgeted expenses, but I'm really happy that all my income took care of everything, and I still had some left over so I could take care of stuff in August. So pretty happy about that, and I'm really happy that I was able to manage to hit my 3-month goal for my emergency fund, and I'm just so excited to be able to hit my 6-month emergency fund goal. Not sure how long that's gonna take, but I'm gonna try really hard, especially for August. I'm trying to be super disciplined because of all the unbudgeted stuff that happened in July. So, you know, go crazy 1 month, like focus, pick it up, you know, get remotivated for this month. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.